welcome to ACE Online. So in today's video, we are coming with again our practice sit series, and this is your sit number 09. So here we are practicing for the examination of LIC AAO, and please don't forget to share the playlist or the link of this video in your respective groups so that more students can join and do their practices, right? So in this particular video, we are going to deal with the questions based on your quantitative aptitude section. So without wasting any more time, let's start with the very first question that we are having. So here we are having our first question from the concept of number series or from the chapter of number series. So the direction says that in each question, below only one number is missing. Please understand the data carefully and find the value of question mark. So what we have to do, actually we have to determine the value of what value of this particular question mark. And whenever we are having questions from the chapter of number system, then what we have to find out, or the number series, we have to deal with the numbers, we have to play with the numbers, and we have to determine the certain pattern which follows in the whole sequence. And with the help of that particular pattern, we have to find out either the missing term or the wrong term. Because we know that whenever we talk about the alphanumeric series or the number series, here we are having two categories. The first one is missing numbers and the second one is wrong numbers, right? So here you have to find out the missing number. And trust me, this one is a very easy type of series given. So you are having 50, 54, question mark, 74, 90, 110. Okay. So the first number that I am having is 50, right? And after that I am having 54. Now in which way I can make my 50 into 54? I know that all thing that I need to do is I need to add plus 4 in this one. I need to add plus 4 in this one. Now after that I am having missing terms, so I am just leaving a blank over here. After that I am having 74, right? After that I am having 90, and after that I am having 110. Okay. Just simply see the series. Do we have major differences in between the numbers? No, the major differences is not there. So we can work on our basic addition and subtraction. So here, if I want to convert my 90 into 110, what I have to do? I just simply have to add plus 20 in this one, right? Okay. And when I find the difference in between 74 and 90, or I can say if I want to convert my 74 as a 90, what I have to do? I have to add plus 16 in this one. I have to add 16 in this one, okay? So as I see the pattern over here, I am getting a pattern of 4 or the table of 4. So basically, if I have to find out this particular term, this number should be on the addition of plus 8 or on the subtraction of minus 12. But here we are only discussing the plus pattern. Here we are only having the plus pattern. So we can say that from this term, if we want to make 74, what we have to do? We have to add plus 12 in this. Just simply check the direction of arrow once, right? So here what we are getting a table of 4 over here, and when we will add 54 plus 8, what we will get? We will get basically over here is 62. Here what we are getting? We are getting 62 over here. We are getting 62 over here. So the correct answer which we are getting over here is option number B. The correct answer over here is option number B. So all you have to do is you have to observe the series or the numbers that you are having. Let's suppose instead of having these gaps, I am having some major gaps. Like We started with 50 and we ended like 2196, like 3184 and something else. Then what we know? We know that in the few terms my 50 is changed into like 3000 something. That means there's like something, maybe the concept of squares, maybe there's a concept of cubes, or maybe concept of some multiplication or the mixed mathematical operation. So you have to play with the numbers. You have to consider each and everything that you will learn when you are studying the number system. Is it clear? Okay. Let's talk about the next question that we are having, and again this is questions from the concept of number series only. So the number series say that 210 question mark, 197, 172, 123 and 2. So here you can see that here you are having 210 and this number is changed to 2 only. That means there is something and you have to determine that something, and with the help of that you also have to determine the value of your question mark. If you will observe this, the difference in between these consecutive terms is quite less, is not that much that we are having in this one. So just think how we will get this much of gap, and by which we are able to get this much of gap in between the numbers 123 and 2. Okay. Now when I see the sequence over here, my mind strikes, why, like how I convert my 23 into directly. The only thing that I am having is I just subtract these numbers and I am getting my answer as 121. And as I see 121, my mind says this is nothing but this is a square of 11, right? This is what? This is a square of 11. So we can say that this is nothing but this is equals to the 11 square. This is equals to the 11 square. That means here we are having something related to the squares. Here we are having something related to the squares. Okay. So here we are having 210. Okay. Apart from that, here we are having missing term. After that, we are having 197. Now, this 197 is also converted into 172, but the difference is not that bigger, which we are having over here. So, when I subtract 197 and 172, what I am getting? Here I am getting 25. Here what I am getting? I am getting 25. And as I see 25 over here, I know that this is nothing but this is a square of 5. This is a square of 5. Okay. Now, I subtract 123 from 172 and what we are getting? So, here we are getting 9 and here we are getting 4. What we are getting? 4. And we know that this is nothing but this is again the square of 7. This is a square of 7. But after that, we are getting a square of 11 directly. So, we can't say that there is a pattern of odd numbers square, right? We can't say that. But if I observe all the numbers carefully, here I am getting a pattern of prime number square. Prime number square, right? What we are doing, we are just subtracting the prime number square. So, if I am having like this one, so if I subtract the square of 1, no, if we will subtract the square of 1, then we have our option as 209, but that's not, so we will go with the, okay, 1 is not also the prime number, so we will go with the smallest prime number that we are having is 2. So the square of 2 is nothing but 4. So what we can write? 210 minus 4, here we are having 206. Do we have that in our option? Yes, we do have that, but we have to check it with the next step also, that this sequence that we making over here is following the rest number is or not, right? So here we are having 206. So the next prime number that we are having is 3. 3 square. That means 206 minus 9. This is what we are having. And when I subtract over here, what I'll get? I'll get this number, 197. I'll get this particular number 197, right? So here in short form, we can say that here I'm just clearing the whole screen so that we can write it in a clean format. So I can say that the first thing that we are getting over here we are having a pattern of prime number square. We have to subtract the square of prime numbers. So the first and the smallest prime number that we are having is 2. So we are going to start it with 2 only. So we can say that here we are having 210 minus 2 square, and here we are getting 206, right? Now the next number is 206. Now we have to subtract the next prime number that we are having is 3. So the square of 3 is 9, and when we subtract 9 from it, we will get 197. The next number is 197, and the next prime number is nothing but 5, and the square of 5 is nothing but 25, and when I subtract 25 from this one, I am getting my answer is 172. Now 172, what I have to do, I have to subtract the next square of our prime number, and that is nothing but that is 7. So basically I have to subtract 49 from this one, and what I'll get 123. Now the next prime number that we are having is 11. So the square of 11 is nothing but 121. So when I subtract 121 from this, I'll get my answer as 2, which is nothing but which is the pattern or the given sequence that we are having, right? So the missing term that we have to identify is this one. This is our missing term or the missing number. So the correct answer over here is option number D. The correct answer over here is what? Option number D. So whenever you are having the questions from this particular chapter, just simply start playing with the number. Just start observing the numbers that you are having. Is it clear? Okay. Next. The next one is 1, 4, question mark, 16, 125, 36. You can easily able to determine the correct answer over here because these numbers are very familiar. We can easily able to detect the pattern over here. Okay, let's see. Here we are having 1, right? After that we are having 4. After that we are having question mark, but after that we are having 16. After that we are having 125, and after that we are having 36. Now why I am writing it in this manner? Because I can easily able to determine the pattern that this is nothing but this is the square of 2, this is nothing but this is the square of 4, and this is nothing but this is the square of 6, right? But if we'll talk about these numbers, so this is nothing but this is the cube of 1. So and here we are having a cube of 5. Now which number is missing? 3. So what we have to do? We have to determine the cube of 3, and that is nothing but that is 27. So the correct answer over here is nothing but your option number A. The correct answer over here is your option number A. This is a very, very simple question. Next. So the next question says 2, 6, 14, 30, question mark, 126. This is the pattern that we are having, and what we have to do? We have to determine the correct answer. What we have to do? We have to determine the correct answer for this particular question. Just simply analyze the pattern, how you will get all these numbers, and after that just simply apply the same pattern to determine the missing value. As I can see that here we are having 2. After that we are having 6. The difference in between these two numbers is 4. Okay. After that, after 6 we are having 14. Okay. So the difference in between these two terms is what? 8. Okay. So the difference is increasing. Okay. Now we are having 14 and we converted into 30. That means the difference in between these terms is now 16. That means the double of the previous one. Okay. But here we are having some missing term, but after that we are having like 126, right? So there's a huge gap in between, or we can say a big gap in comparison of others in between 30 and 126. That means we have to check that which pattern is available over here, and the difference in between the terms is also not equal. That means there's something mixed operation is applied over here. So for initially I am having 2, and what I have to do, I have to convert my 2 into 6. I have to convert my 2 into 6. Okay. If I'll add plus 4 in that, I can just simply convert it into 6. But I know that I am not able to follow the similar pattern with the other numbers that I am having. Okay. Is there some other way? Okay. So the simplest way that I can follow is if I'll multiply my 2 by 2, that is equal to 2. Sorry, that is equals to 4. Now, if I'll add plus 2 in that, what number I am getting? I am getting like 2 into 2, that is 4. 4 plus 2, that is 6. Okay. Now, if I'll apply the same pattern, what I am trying to say, I am just trying to say here I am having 2, right? So first I multiplied by 2, and in the ending I just add 2 in that. Here I am getting 6, right? Here I am getting 6. Okay. Now, in the next one, I am having 6 over here, and if I again multiply it by 2, it will become 12. 12 plus 2, it will become 14. That's what we are having over here also, right? We started with 2, we will get 6. From the 6, we converted it into 14. Now, we will apply the same pattern just to determine these rest numbers. So, 14 into 2, that is nothing but 28. 28 plus 2, that is nothing but 30. That's what we are having over here. Okay. Now, the next one is 30. Now, we have to apply the same pattern over here. So, 30 into 2, that is 60. 60 plus 2, that is nothing but 62. That is nothing but equals to 62, right? Now, the last one, we have to cross-check it again. Now, we are having 62. 62 into 2, that is nothing but 124. 124 plus 2, this is nothing but 126. And that's what we are having our last number. That's what we are having our last number. So, the missing term that we are having in this particular series is this one, that is 62. That means your correct answer over here is option number A. The correct answer over here is what? Option number A. Is it clear? The correct answer is option number A. So, whenever you are having some different type of gaps or some unusual pattern, just simply try to identify the mixed operation. Is it clear? Okay. Next. So, here we are having a arithmetic problem based on the mixtures. So, just try to solve this particular question. And the question says that in two alloys is basically a mixture of two or more metals, copper and zinc are mixed. It's not related. Basically, they are mixed. Related in the ratio of are basically in two alloys, copper and zinc are mixed in the ratio of 4:1 and 1:3. 10 kg of first alloy and 16 kg of second alloy and some of the pure copper are melted together. Now, here the quantity of copper is not given. It is just simply mentioned that some amount of copper. An alloy was obtained in which the ratio of copper to zinc was 3:2. That means after collecting both the alloys and the some pure copper, now we just melted it together, and in the final product we are getting the ratio of copper to zinc is nothing but 3:2. Now, what we have to do? We have to determine the weight of the new alloy. What we have to do? We have to determine the weight of the new alloy. This is a simple problem based on the concept of mixtures and allegations. So, just simply put the basic concept over here and you will easily able to determine the answer. Just take your option number E as none of these. Okay, let's start solving this. Here we are having the first alloy. So here I am writing alloy. Alloy 1 or alloy first, right? So in alloy first, what we are having like copper and zinc. So here we are having copper and here we are having zinc, right? Similarly, we are having our another alloy as well, alloy 2. In this also we are having copper and zinc, right? But the ratio or the quantity which is present over here is completely different, and on the basis of that we are having ratio. In alloy 1 we are having a ratio of 4:1, and in the second one we are having our ratio as 1:3. Okay. Now, with this data, if I want to say something, so we can say that if in alloy 1 I am having 4 parts of copper and 1 part of zinc, that means we can say that in the combined format, it is present, the total weight of this alloy should be present on the multiple of 5. Similarly, for the alloy 2, I can say that if I am having 1 part of copper and 3 parts of zinc, and if I combine them together, so in the answer I am getting basically 4 parts, or the total weight of second alloy is on the multiple of 4. Okay, but our question says that what we are doing, we are taking 10 kgs of first alloy. Instead of taking 5, what we are doing, we are taking 10 kgs. That means it is present on the multiple of 2, right? So we have to multiply it by 2 also, just to calculate the values. Because now what we have to do, we are going to, we are working on the values now. So we are just converting it as the total alloy 1, we are just taking the 10 kg. So it is present on the multiple of 2. So we can say that the amount of copper is nothing but 8 kgs, and the amount of, or the weight of zinc that we are having is of 2 kg, right? Now, for the alloy 2, it states that we are going to take 16 kg. So instead of 4, what we are taking 16. So this is present on the multiple of 4. If this value is present on the multiple of 4, so we just simply multiply it by 4 and 4. And here we are getting these weights. Now, for the new alloy, what we are doing, we are mixing these two alloys. But apart from that, we are also mixing some pure copper. To make our alloy third. Or the new alloy. Okay. And the ultimate ratio that we are getting in copper and zinc is nothing but 3:2. The ultimate ratio that we are getting is 3:2. Now what we have to do, we have to determine the weight, the new weight of the alloy. Okay. So for this one, how we are going to deal that? What is the weight of copper that we are taking? 8 plus 4. But the weight of this particular copper is not given, so we just simply assume it as X. Now, for the zinc, what we are doing, we are taking 2 kgs of this one and 12 kgs of this one. That means they combine it together and make it as 14, right? So, in this mixture, basically for the zinc, what we are doing, we are taking 2 kgs of zinc from the alloy number 1 and 12 kgs of zinc from the alloy number 2. So basically the value of the value of 2 in this particular ratio is nothing but is equals to what? Is equals to 14. So ultimately we can say that this value is present on the multiple of 7. This value is present on the multiple of 7. Okay. So this value also present on the multiple of 7. Na? This value is also present on the multiple of 7 because we are having a ratio over here. Because we are having a ratio over here. So when I multiply this value by 7, here I am getting my answer as 21. Here I am getting my answer as 21. Right? Okay. So basically, without determining the value of pure copper, we can easily able to determine the weight of new alloy, because we know that this is nothing but this is total 5. And when this value is present on the multiple of 7, this value is also present on the multiple of 7. And when I multiply this by 7, and I'll get my answer as 35. I'll get my answer as 35. That means option number A is correct. Option number A is correct. But let's suppose the examiner also asks like what is the amount of, or what is the weight of pure copper that we added to make a new alloy. So for that, what we are doing, we will get this value, right? But this value includes what? The 8 kgs of copper from alloy number 1 plus the 4 kg of what? 4 kg of alloy that we are getting from alloy number 2 plus this x kgs. So this is nothing but this is 12. 12 plus x, and 12 plus x is nothing but equals to 21. So we are easily able to determine the value of x over here, and this is nothing but this is equals to what? 9. So the value of x is nothing but 9. So we can say that in the ending, or when these all alloys are melted, so we added 9 kgs of pure copper. We just simply added 9 kgs of pure copper. Or you can also do it like in another way. You know that you are having copper and zinc ratio for the final alloy that you are having, and that is nothing but 3/2, right? This is for the alloy third. This is for the alloy third. Now, if you want to write down the form, like the fraction for the rest alloys that you are having, so you can say that here I am getting 8 kgs of copper from my alloy number 1 plus 4 kg of copper from alloy number 2. Now I don't know the kg of, or the quantity of, or the weight of the pure copper that I am mixed, but I know that I am just taking 2 kgs of zinc and 12 kgs of zinc from the alloy number 2, and when I mix them together, I am in the final answer I am getting my this value. So what you have to do, you just simply have to cross multiply. Here you are having like 12 plus x divided by 14, and here you are having 3/2. So when you do the cross multiplication, you are having 24 plus 2x, and that is nothing but that is equals to 42, right? That is equals to 42. So basically 2x is equals to 18, and the value of x is nothing but 9. And the value of x is nothing but 9. And from this, if you want to calculate the value of the weight of new alloy, so in new alloy, what you mix 10 kgs of alloy 1 plus 16 kgs of alloy 2 plus this 9 kg, and when you add these values, this is 25 plus 10, that is nothing but 35 kgs. So you can also do the same question, the same like math, the concept in this manner also, or if you are easily able to solve all the problems based in the ratio format, then you can easily able to do that. Here there's no need to find out the amount of pure copper, but in the second method you have to find it first, and after that only you are able to get the quantity or the weight of final alloy. But in this particular ratio format, there's no requirement to find out the pure copper. If with the help of this particular ratio, you can easily able to determine the weight of your third alloy. Is it clear? Okay. Now, let's move towards the next question. And the next question says that if Renu has one laptop worth rupees 18,000, two mobiles worth of rupees 30,000 and one car worth rupees 4 lakhs. In next year, the cost of car decreased by 20%, price of laptop is increased by 10%, and the cost of mobile is decreased by 5%, then what is the percentage change in the net worth of Renu? Basically, what we have to find out? We have to find out the percentage change. We have to find out the percentage change. And we know that how do we find out the percentage change? The final value minus the initial value divided by the initial value into 100. This is the simple formula that we are having, and we have to use that particular formula only to calculate the change over here. Okay, so for the car, so the value of car is decreased by 20%, right? Or we can write it as 1 by 5. We can write it as 1 by 5. And the value of laptop is increased by 10%. Is increased by 1 by 10%. That means we can write it as 1 by 10. And the cost of mobile is decreased by 5%. That means we can write it as 1 by 20. That means we can write it as 1 by 20, right? Okay. Now, what you have to do, you either work with your percentage value or you can go with your fractions. You are having two choices and you can move in either of the ways. So first, we just simply calculated the worth of Renu. Renu worth, or you can say the previous worth. So at that time, he purchased a car of 4 lakh. 4 lakh rupees. Apart from that, he is also having a laptop of worth rupees 18,000. He is also having 2 mobile phones and the total cost of that is 30,000. Right? This is the total worth of what? Total worth of Renu. And that is nothing but 4,48,000. This is the previous worth of Renu. This is the previous worth of Renu. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to determine the current worth. We have to determine the current worth. Okay. So the question says that the worth of car in the next year, it is decreased by 20%. That means it is decreased by 1%. So initially, if the car worth rupees as 4 lakhs, right? That means it is present on the multiple of 80,000, right? So we can say that the 80,000 amount is decreased. 80,000 amount is decreased. Now it is present on the value of, now the current value. The current value of car is nothing but 3,20,000. The current value is nothing but 3,20,000. We just simply calculated it. Or you can also do one thing. You know that the original price of car is like 4 lakh rupees, but there's a decrement of 20%. That means it is on the worth of 80%. So you can also able to solve it like in this manner. 8 into 4, that is nothing but 32. And how many zeros you are having? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again you are getting 3,20,000 rupees. Right? Next. In the next one, we are having laptop. Right? In the next one, we are having laptop. This is for car. right? And now we are going to solve the value for the laptop. So laptop is increased by 1 by 10. So here we are having laptop 1 by 10. So the initial value is nothing but initial value is 18,000. That means it is present on the multiple of 1800. So the value of this one is also 1800. Now the value of laptop. Now the value of laptop will become nothing but 19800. 19,800. The value of laptop will become 19,800. The value of laptop will become 19,800. Okay. Now the next one. The next one is nothing but mobile. Or if you are not able to solve it like this one, you can also solve it like directly, as we did with the percentage. So here there's a decrement of 1 by 20. 1 by 20. Now the value of this 20 is nothing but equals to 30,000. So here this is eliminated, and here we are getting the value of 1500. That means the value is nothing but 1500. So the value of mobile right now, is nothing but, it is on the multiple of 19. So 19 into this one, this will become 28,500. This will become 28,500. So these are the current values that we are having for the car, laptop and mobile. For the car, laptop and the mobile, right? Okay. Now, the current values. For the car, it is like 3,20,000. For the laptop, it is nothing but 19,800. And for the mobile, it is nothing but, it is 28,500. Right? These are the current values. We are also having the previous values. So the previous values are 4 lakh. There's no need to write it again and again, but I just changed the slide, that's why I'm writing. So here we are having 18,000, and here we are having 30,000. Right? Here we are having 30,000. So basically the formula of percentage change says that final value minus initial value divided by initial value into 100. This is the formula that we are having. So here we are having a difference of 80,000, right? Minus 80,000. Here we are having an increment of 1,800. And here we are having a decrement of 1,500, right? So ultimately we can say that here we are having a difference of like plus 300. And when I eliminate 300 from this one, what I'll get 77,000. Right? On the roughly basis, I'm getting 77,000 over here. So we can say that 77,000 divided by 4,48,000 into 100. This is what that I need to solve. So I'm just simply subtracting these 3 zeros from these one. Now if I'll consider it as 450, right? 450, 45. If I just simply consider as 450, so I can write it as 770, and here we are having like 450, right? This one, and 450, so it is nearly equal to like 1, and here we are having after that 7.8. This is something that we are having 17.6% decrement. Do we have that in our option 17 point something? Yes. Option number D is the correct one. Basically, here we are getting the decrement of 17.8. We all have to do is we only have to calculate the percentage change, and that is calculated by a simple step, that is like final value subtracted by the initial value divided by the initial value into 100. This is what we have to do just to find out the percentage change. Is it clear? Okay. Now the next one. Okay. So the next question says that the total number of red and blue balls in a box is 100. If certain number of red and blue balls added to the box, then the number of red balls is increased by 20% and the number of blue balls increased by 9, and then the total number of balls in the box is increased by 123%. What is the ratio of the initial number of red and blue balls? Basically, we have to find out what? We have to find out the initial ratio. We have to find out what? We have to find out the initial ratio. Is it clear? Okay. So first, you have to work on few values, and after that, you have to determine the original number of balls of individual colors. This is a simple question. All you have to do is you have to do some basic mathematical calculation, and after that you will definitely get your answer. So the question says that here you are having like 100 balls. You are having 100 balls in your bag. Out of these 100 balls, few balls are of red color and few balls are of blue colors, right? I just simply assume that the number of balls that I am having of red color out of these 100 is X. I just simply assumed it. So the number of blue balls that I am having is equals to 100 minus X, right? This is nothing but this is 100 minus X. Okay. Now, the question says that we just simply added certain value of balls, but we don't know the exact number of the balls. But the question says that here, let's suppose, here we know that in the red balls. So here I am writing for the red, and after that we are just going to write it for the blue. So instead of writing this one, we are just going to write it in this format. So the number of red balls, because of adding of the balls, we don't know the exact number, right? But we know that because of that, the total number of red ball is increased by 20%. Is increased by 20%. So if here we are considering red balls and here we are considering blue balls, right? So initially we are having X balls. Initially we are having X balls, but they are increased by 20%. They are increased by 20%. So right now what I am able to write down, like now I am having 120% of red balls. This is the number of red balls that I am having. Plus, initially we are having 100 minus X blue balls. But when I added certain number of blue balls in that, they are increased by 9. They are increased by 9. That means this is the exact value. So what I am going to write down? Here I am having 100 minus X, but 9 balls are added. So I can write it as 109 minus X. I can write it in this format, no? So this is what? This is for the red balls. This is for the blue balls. Now, In total, there's a change of 23%. So initially, if I am having like 100 balls and there's an increment of 23%, that means I can say that the total number of balls that I am getting is equals to 100. Sorry, 123, that is equals to nothing but equals to 123. That is nothing but that is equals to 123. Is it clear? Okay. So instead of that, blue, red and this one, okay. So now what I have to do, I just simply have to solve this particular value. So here what I am getting, here I am getting 6, here I am getting 5, right? So I can do one thing, I just shifted this particular number to this side so that we are having like x to one side. So I can write it over here. I can write it like this one. 6x by 5 minus x is equals to 123 minus 109. Right? We can write it in this format. Here we are having x by 5 is equals to what we are getting over here. So basically 13 minus 9, that we are getting 4, and here 11, 1. So basically the value of x is nothing but 70. The value of x is nothing but 70. So we can say that in the very initial level, or on the very initial level, we are having like 70 red balls and 30 blue balls. We are having 70 red balls and 30 blue balls. Now what we have to do, we have to find out the ratio. So the ratio is not present over here. I guess this is some misprinting, but as per this one, we will go with our option number E, because the correct ratio is 7:3. The correct ratio over here is 7:3. Right? This is the correct ratio that we are having. This is the correct ratio that we are having, and the ratio is 7:3. Is it clear? So basically what we have to do, we just have to do some basic calculation on the numbers that we are having, and we can easily able to determine the correct answers. Next question. So here we are having few questions from the concept of simplification, or we can say from the concept of approximation, right? So here we can say that these numbers are quite like on the round of figure, so you can easily make these values simpler so that you can do the basic calculation in a simple format. So just simply try to figure out the correct answer over here. Like instead of having 24.01%, you can write it as 24%. Of 449.98, you can write it as 450, right? Now, let's start solving it. So, I can write this as 24%. So, I'm just directly removing the percentage sign over here, just dividing it by 100 of, that means multiplication. I can write it as 450, right? Plus, here I am having question mark and there's a square on that, that is equals to, now I can write it as 16. 16 square, that is nothing but 256, minus, I can write it as 64, and the cube of 64 is nothing but 4. Right? Because I know that 4 cube is nothing but 64, and the square of 16 is nothing but 256. The square of 16 is nothing but 256. So here I can easily able to write it like this, this 0 and this 0 is eliminated. Here we are having 10. So we can write 5 over here, we can write 12 over here, we can write 9 over here, right? So here we are having 108 plus this square is equals to what? 256 minus 4. Right? This is what we are having. Now the question mark square is equal to, here what we are getting? 252 minus 108. So what we are getting? We are getting the question mark square is equals to 144, and we know that this is nothing but this is a square of 12. So the value of question mark that we are getting is equals to 12. The value of question mark that we are getting over here is equals to 12. That means the option number B is the correct one. That means the option number B is the correct one. Is it clear? Okay. Now, let's move towards the next question, and again we are having a question from the simplification, and in this as well you can just simply round off the figures and just simply make it simpler so that you can easily able to determine the correct answer. What is the correct answer over here? Okay, let's start solving it. Here we are having like question mark, right? Into. Here we are having this bracket symbol. I can write this term as 44, right? Percentage. That means I just simply remove the percentage sign by dividing it by 100. Into. I can write it as 750, right? I can write it as 750 plus. Or I can do one more thing. I just make a curly brackets over here so that I can easily differentiate it, right? Here instead of writing it this one, I can write 110, right? And the bracket closed is equals to what? Now I can write it as 88. 88% of 2500, right? We can write it in this manner. Now, what we are doing, we are just going to solve it. So here we can eliminate these two zeros, right? And we can also able to eliminate this one, and with the help of what? With the help of 5. Now we can easily able to eliminate it. Here we are getting like, what we are getting over here? 15. We are getting 15 over here. Now, here we are getting like 22. Right? So, here we are having this question mark sign into 22 into 15, right? Plus 110. Wait, instead of writing this one, we can simply solve it. Like 15 into 2, that is 30, 0, the 3 is carried on, that means 33. So we are getting 330. We are getting 330 over here. So like we can directly write it as question mark into 330, right? And that is equals to 330 plus 110. That will become 440. That will become 440. Is equals to 88 multiplied by 25. Okay, so when we will write this, here we are getting it like 440 is equals to 88 into 25. Okay. So we can easily say that here we are getting 110. We are just eliminating it with the help of 4. And here we are getting it like 22. Right? We are getting 22 over here. Now, we further solve it. Here with the help of 5, we can easily eliminate it. Here we are getting like 5. And here when we are eliminating, here I am getting 2 and here I am getting 2. And this 22 and this 22 are eliminated. And finally, we are getting the value of question mark is equals to 5. We are finally getting the value of question mark is equals to 5. Is it clear? So the correct answer over here is your option number D. The correct answer over here is your option number D. Is it clear? So one more last question of this particular session, and is this one. Again, what we have to do, we have to solve it with the help of the approximation, right? So here we are having 4 and we are having question mark on 4, right? We are having question mark on 4, and after that we are having 79.98% of 980.03 equals to 1039.99. So basically, again, what you have to do, you have to do the basic calculations so that you can easily able to determine your answers. and just simply write all your answers in the comment section so that we can just simply cross check it whether you are doing it a correct manner or not. Okay, let's start solving it. Here we are having 4 and we are having a question mark on that. Now we can write it as 80%, right, of 980 is equals to what? Here we can write it as 1040. Right, this is what we are having. Now we have to solve this one. So we can eliminate these two 0 with the help of these two 0. So again here I am having 4 to the power question mark here. 8 into 8, that is 64, and the 6 is carry forward. 8 into 9, that is 72. 72 plus 6, that is becomes 78, is equals to 1040. Right? 4 to the power question mark here. 1040 minus 784. So here we are having this one. And we know that 4 to the power 4 is nothing but 256, because we know that 16 square is nothing but 256 and 4 square is nothing but 16. So basically what we need, 4 square into 4 square, that will become 4 to the power 4, and that's what we have written over here. So the correct answer over here is option number A. So the correct answer over here is option number A. So by all these methods, you can easily able to solve your answers. So for this one, all you need is practice. Just simply do more and more practice so that you are easily able to do the calculations in your examination, and you will definitely get the correct answer. So with this question, let's end this video here only. We'll meet in the next videos with some more and amazing content or with some more questions so that you can practice it in a well manner. Till then, keep smiling, stay safe, bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching this video.